is going to be on like summer, right? And how to navigate it a little bit. But I want to start it off by saying a little bit more about Roy. Russ, can you give that to Russ? Roy, get another car. Oh my God. Okay. A little bit more about what I said today on my story on Instagram, if you saw it. This journey, right? You have to earn it. So my summer compared to Steph's summer, compared to Jess's summer, compared to Mindy's summer, they're going to be different, right? We're all in different parts of our health and fitness journey, right? I've been on this for multiple years. I have more leeway. Steph has been on this for multiple years, but she just had a baby, so she's a little set back. She probably doesn't have as much leeway, right? You do have to earn the nights out and the fun and the untracking, right? So as I'm going to kind of dive into tricks and ways to navigate summer with being fun, but if you have a lot of weight to lose and that's your goal, again, you can't have all these untracked meals and go to a barbecue and just live because you haven't earned that yet. And I know that sounds like a bummer, and I'm not saying you can't have any fun over the summer. That's not realistic either. But I'm going to be able to be a little bit more flexible than someone who has, 100 pounds to lose, or is a size 7, or that's not even a size 8 who wants to be a size 4 and just started this macro stuff 3 months ago. So just realize that everyone's summers are going to look a little different. When you see people on Instagram posting drinks and posting barbecue foods, you have to realize where they are. They are not you, most likely, right? They're in different part of their lives. They're in different parts of this journey. So just remember that you have to earn the flexibility, right? You can't expect to lose 60 pounds while going out and enjoying barbecues 3 days a week, going to the beach and having drinks. Just not going to happen.
Where's my plane?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Go watch TV. All right. So first things first, I wanted to start again with the truths because I'm always going to be honest with you guys, and summer still counts. And unfortunately, a lot of people think it's like 2 months of partying and free for all, and it's not, right? It comes every year. And if you only focus on your health for 8 months out of the year, and June, July, August, September, you're kind of, balls to the wall, whatever you want, you're never going to get anywhere. Or if you do, it's going to be crash dieting, gain it all back over the summer, crash dieting, gain it all back over the summer. And that's eventually going to catch up to you, right? You're not going to be able to get rid of it anymore. So it's not a free 2 months, and we can't look at it like that. It's just like every other month. It comes every year, just like the holidays do. You can't have it all, right? You can't have goals in your head and also say yes to every single social event, every single plan, and go to every plan, eating and drinking your heart out. Not going to happen. I think we all lived that phase for a little bit, and we saw what happens after, right? When I was 22, I lived it all, and it did not turn out right. So you can't have both. You just can't, right? You can try and balance both and make decisions here and there, but you just can't. There needs to be some sort of sacrifice, right? And that's where you have to look internally and decide if you're able to do that. You are going to have to say no to things, or you're going to not drink at some events, or you're going to not bring a 7-pound deli sandwich to the beach, right? And if that's a sacrifice you're not willing to make, you're not even close to being anywhere near this journey, right? Because if you can't sacrifice a 7-pound deli sandwich at the beach to lose weight and maybe not turn pre-diabetic, we have a lot more to look at internally, right? So there's going to have to be some sacrifice for your health.
But CJ, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if it's like maybe a teacher mentality, but I just feel like I look forward to the summer because I have more leeway. I feel like it might not be the same for everyone, but I feel like the warm weather makes me want to get outside and do things, makes me want to work out, so I feel like if you look at it in that sense, it might be more helpful, because during the winter, when I get up to go to the gym at 5 a.m., it's miserable. It's so dark, it's cold, I hate myself. I'm like, I don't want to go. I do it anyway. But if like now that I was like saying to myself, I'm like, wow, it's so light. And now that I'm up at every hour of the day because I have the newborn, I'm like, wow, it's so light out at 4 a.m. Like that would easily get me out of bed. So I feel like it's just like I don't know, I feel like it's like a serotonin boost when the summer comes, and it makes it a little easier to reach goals like that.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. The sunlight literally like, can you stop?
Like I feel like the winter is more of a time where I want to like put the wood burning stove on, sit on my couch, have a glass of wine. Like I know like when it's nice out, you want to have like maybe a beer by the pool or something. But I just feel like the summer, my mind shifts to like, okay, it's so nice out. I could get my workout in. I feel good. Like I have time. And I know, maybe it is a teacher mentality, but I feel like because it's so nice out, and there's like a thing like seasonal affective like disorder is like a depression, during the winter and all of that stuff. So I feel like a lot of serotonin does get boosted when your brain over the summer, and you have like, it's just, you feel better. You're able to do more.
Right, absolutely. And I think that's unfortunately sometimes people are like, but I'm working out, I'm getting so many steps, I can eat all this. That's also necessarily not the case. And I know usually the summer issue is booze, right? Like I know I can go to a barbecue and not eat, but like I would rather, it's the drinking, because I know I have that disease. It's called tequila sunshine, where you just want tequila when the sun's out. It's a rough one. Only a couple of us are in the world are diagnosed with that.
Rare.
See,
Very rare. I'm just
and
so
I feel like I'm the opposite. I'd rather eat everything than drink. I don't really, I don't mind having a drink every once in a while, but I'd rather eat.
I agree. If there's a hot dog there, like at a barbecue, forget it. Done.
so funny. Right. So like we all have those, right? But again, definitely like going up for the gym, going out for walks, just being more like moving more is going to be great.
But also when you get more into it and you do go to the gym and you have your consistency and your habits and your routine, you don't want to do those things, because then you start feeling like shit and you're mad that you're out of like how you've been doing. Like personally,
That was me last week.
When I get so like, when I'm in a consistent routine and I do like something that I'm like mad at, not that you should be mad at yourself because you do have to live, but like you're just like in such a good routine. And then if you start going off of it, you just don't even mentally and physically feel good.
And almost every single one of you guys will say that on a check-in, especially after Memorial Day. I think 90% of my check-ins were like, oh, like I feel like shit. I feel like shit, which is good. Like you're starting to notice too, right? Okay, so I'm a big advocate for still tracking. I know there's days that you don't want to track, and I do that too, but if we don't track, we have no idea. And some of you are going to be like, no, I'm a pretty good guesser, and I don't want to burst your bubble. You're not. Because again, I've been doing this for years and years, and I'm still really not. Like I know I'll hit my proteins, that's just how I am, but I don't know how many grams of carbs or fat I have. Like that is such a hard thing to guess. And even if you go back the next morning and guess what you ate, that is better than nothing. So I'm really going to advocate for no 0 days. Again, even if you go back the next day and try and think back to what you ate, it's better than seeing zeros. All right. So that's another thing.
Like just write that down. Like just say like this day might not be 100% accurate because I went back and I guessed, but at least you're putting something in there, because I've had a few check-ins where people leave everything blank, but like I can't help you then, like or like I don't know what to say or what to do because it's blank.
Right. Like sometimes I'll look at people's numbers and be like, whoa, they smoked it. And then like I'll see in the check-in, it's like, oh wait, that went from May 27th to June 2nd. Like, okay, wait, those numbers are then completely not right. Like your averages then look great, but you left 3 days out, right? That doesn't help anyone. And never going to be like mad at you, but I need to see stuff. And same with the summer. We need to see the weekend vendors to help you. Another thing, right? Manage your expectations with your actions. Me and Steph can't work miracles, right? If you're going to barbecues or out to dinner or over to Fire Island or to girls' nights twice a week, I know it doesn't sound crazy, but it is, then we're not going to get that goal body, and the scale might not go down. Scale probably won't go down, and there's nothing we can do there, right? You have to manage your expectations. If your actions are going to be one way, then your expectations have to line up. You can't have expectations to lose 30 pounds over the summer or, 7 pounds before July 4th and go out to dinner 3 times a week and have 15 drinks over the week. Not going to happen, right? Like, so we have to be a little honest with ourselves and what we're expecting to see. And then summer comes every year, just like the holidays come every year, and every year in June, people panic, and every year in November, people panic. They come every year. We have to stop pretending like they don't exist and there's some sort of surprise and just learn how to handle it, right? It's like tax day. People freak out. Oh my God. Like, guys, it comes every single April. Like, we can plan for this.
But I feel like just you have to make a choice. Like if there's like I know I enjoy Christmas, like that's when I like to eat. That like Thanksgiving, I know some people are gonna be like, oh my God, but I don't like turkey, I don't like cranberry sauce, I don't like that stuff. So for
Agree.
Thanksgiving, I'm like not worried about it because I know like I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna still be really good. But like I know Christmas is the holiday that I like to eat. And that's when I give myself that. I'm not saying you can't do that on holidays, but like if it turns into a holiday and then it turns into the next day and the next day, that's when it causes like issues. But I know on like Christmas Eve, I'm not going to make myself feel bad because my family's Italian. We have like 4 tables
18
worth of,
fishes.
yeah, everything. And I'm eating all of it
Agree.
because that's what I look forward to. But I don't do it for every holiday. I don't let it carry into 4 days after. I just know I'm doing it that day and then I'm getting back on everything after.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
I am so
so
upset. Oh,
what?
I'm just looking. I was looking. I'm making the chicken pizza again, and I thought it was 354 grams of chicken, but the drained weight is 196.
Mm,
Oh, damn. Okay. Sorry.
not that much. Okay,
That's
so
so sad.
some cardinal rules here, right? The things we want to stick to over the summer. Protein, water, and steps. These are the cardinal rules that I give anyone when they go on vacation too. We can always control that. Okay, we can always get our protein in. I don't care where you are, you can figure it out. You can order just 64 grilled chicken breasts if you need to, and I don't feel bad for you. Figure it out. Water, you can carry your water bottle with you at a bar. You can order a water, not Coyote Ugly. They're not going to H2O shame you. Great movie. You can get a water. And steps, we can move. Okay, it's the summer. If you're out on the bar, step in place, get your groove on. If you're at a wedding, dance. If you're drinking on a booze cruise, walk around the boat. Enough with the I can't get my steps in. You can if you want to. We're all crazy and have walked around our kitchens or our backyards enough. It can happen. Get your workouts in. Like, I know plans come up a little bit more, but then go in the morning. Figure it out. Pick a time. And we've talked about this a lot. Pick a time in the day where plans are not going to come in the middle of your workout. So 5 p.m. workouts on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, those are going to get interrupted, right? Probably not the smartest time to plan your workout unless, you're super like dedicated to it. And then you're like, no, I'm not going to go to happy hour. I'm going to go to the gym, right? Depends. Be honest with yourself. Look ahead at your week. Like today, I looked at next week. Sorry, I'm also dying. I have a broken back, a cold, and TMI, but I'm on my period, so it's just a trifecta. Okay. It's the air. Right? Look at when you're going out, when you have plans, when you can make a dinner, when you have to get to go, when you can fit your workouts in. Writing stuff down helps. Write it down. And don't get lost in the lack of routine. If for some reason, or like teachers, right? Like I know I sometimes get lost without my routine. Make a day still. Like every single Thursday, I'm going to sit down with my coffee and make my grocery list. It's a routine. Every single Wednesday, I'm going to do this. Create a routine still. Don't get lost in the, so much time.
Sorry.
And if you're not a teacher and you still work during the week, it's perfect. Keep your exact routine. And yeah, okay, Friday, Saturday may be a little bit different, but plan your groceries, get your workouts in, keep the routine. And if you do go off routine, like Steph said before, don't turn it into 6 days. Let it be the one day.
And don't dwell on it because then you just make yourself feel worse. Just know like it is what it is. Log it, do what you have to do, learn from it, whatever, and then move on because it's like we have to learn to not be like, oh, I did so bad yesterday because that's
Right.
not good either for your mental health.
No, and then you get sad, and guess what you end up finding yourself in? A pint of ice cream because you're sad that you ate pizza
Yep.
yesterday. So,
Yep.
right? So we don't want to be sad and then make other choices to cure our sadness. Okay. Oh, I kind of just went in this, right? If you work a schedule that remains the same, but the weekend gets crazier, right? So these are all my non-teachers, basically. Keep the Monday through Friday the same. Meal prep, get steps in, go to the gym, make the grocery list on Thursday. Find time on the weekend. All right, Rory. Find time on the weekends to still meal prep. If that means waking up before your plans, oh my God, then do it. Okay. If your Friday and Sunday are a little bit different, this is how I always tell you guys, right? Keep your breakfast smart and large and full of protein, right? Keep your lunch and breakfast high, lower carb, lower fat, so you can save room for food out. Oh my God. And drinks. Well, no routine change for. Thanks, Rory. Okay. You can, so sometimes I tell you guys that you can even eliminate a meal. Well, that's what I do. I pretty much eliminate breakfast and have like a brunch. So I save a whole calories worth of meals for whatever event I'm going to. And that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to eat it all or drink it all, but I know I won't be going crazy over. If I end up not having a ton of food, I can come back and finish at night, but I like to give myself a big buffer. Your feet, your front. Okay, I just kissed your toe. You can still, right, not just eat and drink whatever you want just because you saved some calories. If you saved 400 calories from not eating breakfast, you can't have 1,200 when you go out. The math doesn't work, right? So you have to still be mindful. You have to track, even if it means guessing. And again, you may have to skip on some plans.
But there's nothing wrong with saying, like, I mean, I know some people like don't have the willpower, but there's really nothing wrong with saying, I mean, if your friend said to you, I can't go because I've been really trying to be good. I want to go to the gym. I want to get my steps. Like, I want to get my workout in. I just feel better after. Like, what are people going to say to you? Oh, you're an asshole. Like, what, like, what are people going to say? Because if they do say things that make you feel bad, like you're, then either they're not a good friend or they're not supportive, or like I would never, when I say that to people, my friends are never like, oh, come on, just skip the gym. You could skip the gym, just come on, and you could always be like, I'll just meet you guys after.
And like I listened to a podcast the other day that brought this up, and I'm pretty sure Jess, you always listen to the same ones I do. And it was saying like imagine you were like, hey, I'm gonna go get my steps and my water in, and I'm not gonna drink tonight. And your friends say, what? Live a little, right? Like live a little. Don't be so strict. And you actually want to be like, well, yeah, you're right. I'm planning on living, and that's why I'm doing these things, right? Like that's a great response to that. Like, well, yeah, I actually want to live long and healthy and not be morbidly obese at the age of 70 or get diabetes or die of cardiac arrest. So yes, I am living a little. So that might be a little bit of an aggressive response, but stop talking. It helps. And then another part of the podcast that they said was, when people like poke fun of you for making these decisions, and it happens to me all the time, right? People at work love to comment on the fact that I like go out for the bus loop walks, that I sneak out during the day to go to the gym and like don't sit in the faculty room. And I haven't once had a lunch at the cafeteria. But you know what? Like, one, it's because they're insecure. 1,000%. That is the only reason.
Yep.
Say that, because if they were confident in their body, they wouldn't say that. Because think about like us who are doing well on their journey. I would never shame someone in that because I'm confident in where I am and I don't need to feel insecure. Another thing is in your head, right? If you're not going to be a dick and you just want to, what's on your belly? Just think like, could you imagine if we said as return, if someone was like, oh, come on, like, why aren't you eating that cake for our birth baby shower? And you're like, well, why are you eating it? That's the real question, right? Like, imagine you shame them for not going to the gym or eating the Sonic hot dog. Like, they would be totally offended. Like, you made them feel bad, but yet they do it to you. So just remember, like, you're the better person in that. And a real friend is not going to shame you for that. Another thing is like, speak in definites with that. Like, not, oh, I can't drink, I'm counting my macros. Because that's like showing them you have a weak point that you may crack, or they can convince you otherwise. Like, I don't want to drink. That's it. It's not, I'm not going to drink. Like, that's a harder statement to like argue with. Or you are, you know what? And we're going to have some drinks and we're going to log it. But I'm just like trying to help you with people that are insecure and make stupid comments. Again, 99% of the time, you don't want to look like the person that's making them anyway. Okay, different routine. So this is for my teachers or anyone that has like summer hours or anything like that. Oh, no, you didn't eat your zucchini. Give me. No. So again, I like in the summer, I'm kind of speaking off of my experiences, and that doesn't mean they have to work, but it's worked for me. So I hope they help. I always push back my eating window in the summer if I'm dieting or if I'm not, just because one, I like to eat later in the day. And two, plans happen later in the day. It's very random that plans come up at 10 o'clock in the morning, right? So I try and push back my breakfast a significant amount. And then I have like a decent sized 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock lunch. And that kind of saves me because then by like 3:34, when plans might to start arrive, I kind of have a better guess of what's going on. And if I can just eat a lunch and have a regular dinner at home, or if I need to plan appropriately. If I have a big breakfast, a snack, and then a lunch by 3, I'm not left with much wiggle room. So I almost just play just in case all the time. I don't mind not eating. I'm good with fasting. I would rather not eat than eat small meals. So that's just my preference.
I agree with you.
And so
That's
just
that's
what
worth
you
it.
like to do.
What do you do? I don't know if you can hear me or not. Now I'm in
I
my
can.
car, not treadmill. Okay. What do you do to like satisfy your hunger? Because like I do feel like sometimes I have plans coming up and I would like to save a lot for later, like try to get my protein in or something. But what do you do to satisfy that hunger if you
So-
choose later on in the day?
So I will have 32 ounces of water right away when I wake up, and then I will have my coffee. So I push back my coffee like an hour and a half at least, and then I get a big
Okay.
old coffee and I sip on that. For me, I know coffee really helps me with my appetite. It totally suppresses my hunger. And like
Okay.
as long as I'm like having something, I can kind of get my mind off of it, but I also stay busy. If I'm just sitting in my house, it's going to be a lot harder for me. So I know in the summer I'll try and get out for a walk, or I'll take the kids somewhere, because if I'm running around, food's kind of the last thing I'm thinking about. But I'm definitely big in like have your water and then have your coffee. That should give you at least like a 2-hour window or so. And then hopefully you're not as full. You can like get your mind off of it, go to the gym maybe. You can work out fasted. I know it might scare some people, but it's really, none of us are fasting that long. Like you're still eating at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. You can go to the gym in the morning without food. Like your belly is not empty, which people might say that it is, right? There's no way.
I have to work out fasted. I feel nauseous if I start working out like and eat
I work
before.
out
Forget
every
it.
morning fasted just because I can't
I
get food
can't.
necessarily. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's up to you. And again, it might take a couple of times to get used to, but again, this is just stuff that I feel like works. If you are fine with small meals often, then go for it. I just want to eat a lot. I'm a volume person. So I don't meal prep in the summer, right? So because I'm home. I also don't bulk cook. So I do 2 things that I tell you guys that you need to do, but I'm going to be honest with everyone. But I stock my fridge with very basic staples, and I pretty much eat the same thing, even though I don't bulk it. Like I will have egg whites, an English muffin with avocado, probably 6 days out of the week. And I just have them in the fridge for my breakfast, right? If I don't have avocado, I put Laughing Cow cheese on it. Something of that variation. A ton of eggs with an English muffin is going to be my first meal, probably 99% of the time in the summer. It's just easy for me, easy to log. It's right there. And then I know my lunch will be some kind of variation of like the canned chicken on a wrap or something like that, or the chicken skewers from Costco. I'm not that picky. I just make sure my fridge has them in there every single day so I can go in there and grab it. So if you're not going to meal prep over the summer, make sure your fridge is stocked with staples. Even if you are home during the summer and meal prep is just easy for you and you trust yourself more, if you know those things are in your fridge, then meal prep, right? It's just that I've been doing this for a while. I don't need to meal prep when I'm home, but if I was new, I would 100% meal prep.
Do you not go in with a plan every week, or you still have a plan, like a roundabout plan? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I just know that I'm
your
going to have,
macros?
I just know that I'm going to have that egg and that. So I guess I have a
Yeah.
plan in the sense that I don't really vary my meals all that much.
I gotcha.
I'll still
Okay.
plan my dinners ish. I'll look ahead the week before and see like what days that I can even cook or what days we're going to be out. But I don't necessarily write it. I'm not as specific over the
No.
summer because I can kind of play all my
I
staples.
can't do that. That's hard for me.
And again, I'm
That
7
takes
years,
time.
5,
Yeah.
7 years in. So that's different. So if
I can
if
do
I
that.
was new to this, I would 1000% still meal prep in the summer. Leaves the least amount of room for mistakes, least amount of room for being like, screw this, I'm going out to eat. Right. But I know some of my people that are home now, they just bulk cook, right? They make like 6 pounds of chicken, they have vegetables.
Well, that's what I found has been easier, even being home on maternity leave, is just having a bunch of protein ready to go sources, because with the two of them, I'm like running around. And like if I go to grab something, what I've noticed like through my whole journey is I'm always grabbing a carb. Like they're the easiest snacks when you think about it, because it's like pretzels and the things that are on the go are the carbs. So
Right.
if I have like hard boiled eggs, if I make a bunch of hard boiled eggs, a bunch of chicken, like I'll make chicken burgers, I make my husband grill a bunch of stuff, and then that's what I keep in
Yeah,
there. Because
grilling's
even if I'm-
so key.
yeah, and even if I'm eating a cold piece of chicken, I'm like, whatever, I just grab it and I just eat it, and then I'm like, okay, I don't feel that bad because it's, you know, it's protein. And also I try to weigh them, they all pretty much weigh the same. Like my chicken burgers all pretty much weigh the same. You know, like it's the same amount of ounces, so I kind of just, I know how much it is. But I feel like that's helpful when you're home, because if you're on the go, you could just grab a protein source.
Right. The chicken skewers from Costco are great cold. We eat them all the time cold. I'm also on my knees on the floor right now for like the last 20 minutes. I'm not really sure why. No, thank you. I don't want it. Thank you. You got nuts. Great. Okay, good day. Triscuits and trail mix. Great snack. Okay, right. But again, so like I know I'm kind of contradicting myself because I just am a little different, but create a routine for yourself, right? Again, I'm further along in this. I know that what I can have at the end of the day to play around, but create a routine. Don't just fly by the seat of your pants, because it's too tricky to do brand new, and you're gonna get frustrated and you're gonna end up like not hitting macros and go down plan. These are just some of the things that I said I was eating all the time. Like this will pretty much be my breakfast every single day, some variation of it. This will probably be my lunch every single day, some variation of it. I'll have cottage cheese and rice cakes as my snack, and planned dinners for the most part. Because I know on each one of those, right, there is a huge chunk of protein. I eat pretty much a container of egg whites every day. That's a ton. The canned chicken, I'll eat the whole entire can, which I was dying in the group chat when Joanna, you're like, oh my God, I ate the whole can and no one else did. And I was like, I ate the whole can all the time. I didn't know people didn't eat the whole can. So I
Well,
feel
today I made 2 because I realized that the drained weight was so much less than I was anticipating. So I screwed myself that one day. Actually, no, I probably put myself on track because I was over by so much. I was like, all right,
there you go.
I'm going to just accept it because
I
it's
think if you
protein.
just scan the can, that the macro should be what the can says.
Sometimes it like reverts to the ounces and then it doesn't give you another option. It's very weird. I don't know. It's temperamental, but it's fine.
Yeah, I eat the whole can all the time, so don't feel weird.
I just made 2, so don't judge. I'm
I
behind
noticed with
because of night
beans-
shift.
I noticed with beans, like if you don't
Egg
with
whites?
beans, the weight's always different.
Yeah, beans are a little tricky. I would just scan the can and like, yeah, I know. Cause like you have to like some beans, like I know black beans, you rinse off the stuff, but I don't think the can counts the juice. Or does it?
So like I have been like on that chickpea salad kick, like I'm always having that. So I just drain a can of chickpeas and I rinse the chickpeas off and then I put it on the scale. Every single time it's different.
Yeah, because maybe I guess the size of the chickpeas in the can are gonna vary. So
How much is it off by? Like a lot?
30 to 50 grams.
Oh, that is a lot.
Yes.
That's way more than I would have thought.
So like,
and we all think
I
we're good
used to go
estimators.
by what the
Yeah.
can said. And then one day I just had everything on the scale and I was like, all right. And I'm like, well, that's off. Because I think the can is
Lower or
like
higher?
400 and lower.
Oh, that's good to know.
But
Yeah,
then
what brand of can is that? We're not going to buy that one.
I always use Goya.
I use Goya too. Just
use
weigh it.
Goya.
I guess that's the best way.
Yeah.
Just weigh it and then look up like Goya beans and then do that. But I didn't. That's a good. I got to check that out next time. I always
Yeah,
just
because then
scan
it's
it
like
and went for it.
because then it's like you're always going to be off. It's
Right.
kind of like estimating. You think even though you're scanning, but like it's like
There's stuff in there. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so movement, Steph brought this up before, right? Get outside early. Don't let the day get away from you. If you have errands, I get it. I have a ton of errands all the time. Get your workout in first, let the errands follow, because you can push back an errand to the next day. You can't push back your workout to the next day because you probably have a workout the next day. Get your workout in, let the errands follow, let the rest of the day follow. Don't say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z and then work out, because guess what? You're probably going to get stuck in Y and then get distracted and go to C and then D and then F and then X and then it's midnight. Right? So
That happens so quickly. It's so annoying.
get it done.
I'm fine.
It's true. Like, especially the fact that most of us are females, like we have a lot to freaking do every day and we bounce around like crazy and we have to get the non-negotiables done and then we can bounce around. Get up at a reasonable hour. And I don't want to be like, I know we're all different parts in our lives and some of us have young kids and some of us have old kids and some of us don't have kids and some of us have dogs, but like we're all adult and you don't need to be sleeping till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Like, I'm not going to feel that bad for you if you're sleeping till 10 o'clock and you can't fit a workout in. Like, get up, right? That's going to be my answer to you. And I'm not saying you have to get up at 5 a.m., maybe not even 6, but like, again, we're adults, get up. The sun's up, it's beautiful, get your circadian rhythm, go to bed earlier, stop scrolling on TikTok, looking at creamy recipes, just kidding. And go to sleep at a legitimate hour and then get up. Sleep is so important, but oh no, the Triscuit box emptied on my couch. I hate it. Okay.
Yeah, but that's true. It's like if you really want to get your workout and you really want to get moving, like you have to get up. And
Right.
honestly, I mean, maybe my mind is just different now because I have 2 kids, but I feel like 7 o'clock is like not like a bad time to get up.
Oh my gosh, CJ.
You see what you did?
Oh
Look at it.
God.
And yeah, no, that's I stopped getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning when my high schooler graduated high school.
So there's
The only time I'm up at 7 is when my shift changed.
yeah, I feel like I don't know what it's like to be sleeping past like 6 o'clock anymore, or even 5 o'clock now. Well, I'm just up all the time, but that'll obviously change, but hopefully. But even the other night, the 2 of them were up. I'm like, oh my God. But
So
it's like, you just do it. You just and like the thing that's killing me is like I can't physically work out yet. So it's like I try to just walk every single day, but I feel like I need to like lift something and do something because I'm just freaking going crazy.
yeah. So get up, right? Remember, not everyone can do it. It's like that I get to mentality. Okay, barbecues and parties. Some tips, right? Bring dishes, volunteer to cook. I know it's a pain in the butt, but volunteer to cook and volunteer to bring the sides, because at a barbecue, there's going to be some sort of meat that you can eat that's not horrendous. Do not go for the hot dogs. If you need to, grab a turkey dog. But believe me, I love it. I'm a bologna gal, so I get it.
Oh, I just started eating turkey bacon and I was like, this thing needs to be like, I don't know, on fire for it to taste
Oh, I
good.
like it, but I also am
turkey
a
bacon.
I just had no, I think I had to toast it like all the way to the point of being like non-noticeable.
Bring desserts, bring sides, bring the things that you know that are probably going to be super high in carbs and fat. And as long as you know there's at least one safe one, and they don't have to be safe, you can dive into that. You can dive into your own dish, your own dessert, and know that it's going to be okay. So bring things. Stick to the lean meats on the barbecue, the grilled chicken, the turkey or chicken burgers, the veggies. If you know that there's no chance those are going to be there and the barbecue is going to be full of hot dogs, ribs, and pulled pork, eat before you go, stick to the sides, or have a tiny bit. But again, realize who you are. Can you have a tiny bit? Can you cut it off? I am not good at that, right? I'm either all or nothing with that kind of food, right? I can't have a sliver of a rib. I'm going to have 7. So realize who you are. If you have good willpower with having little bits and bites, then fine. But again, own yourself. I say stay far away from the chips and dip because salt chases salt. Salt is tricky because it makes you, it dehydrates you, but it hydrates you. Salt is going to dehydrate you a little bit and make you thirsty, which is going to lead you to drinks, which is going to lead you to more food, and it's going to make you want more salt because you're going to be drinking and, or not drinking and become dehydrated. So and again, if any of you can have one chip with one dip on it, like, then power to you. But I'm going to say that none of us can do that. That's like a superpower. Also, if you're craving salt, it means you're dehydrated. So drink water. You don't just crave salt because you love it. You crave salt because you're dehydrated. Your body wants you to have salt, so you get even thirstier and have water, right? Your body does things on purpose. Okay, these are some random stuff just because my kids are about to go bonkers. Beach days, bring your own food. Again, this is where I'm going to not have much sympathy. No, like, again, be an adult. Like, I have to bring this to the beach. I just have to. No, you don't. You don't need to bring a 1,000 calorie deli sandwich to the beach. You can make your own. You can buy something at the deli one day, bring it home, log it, weigh it and log it, and then get that same sandwich each time if you really need to bring a deli sandwich to the beach, right? So go get low sodium turkey, tomato, lettuce, mayo, and go home and weigh it, and then stick to the same sandwich. Okay, you don't need to vary it up every day. Or you can just bring a protein bar and water and tough it out for a little bit and then have a big dinner. Or you can bring a salad in a cooler, like I saw Steph do, and she killed it.
Even like pieces, like a bowl, like pieces of chicken, like with some, like you could still make a little bowl in Tupperware, or even like smoothies, like bring a nice, like a nice cold smoothie with protein in it.
I did the bowl.
Yeah, Steph did great.
I did. I bought rotisserie chicken the day before.
Oh
and
yeah,
a
perfect.
salad, and I prepped
And
it.
she didn't even know I was definitely going to be there, so she did this without being nervous that I was going to see her.
But you also feel better. I
Your
mean,
binoculars.
Yeah.
I feel like you're at the beach and like you're in a bathing suit, you're in the hot sun. Like, I don't know, that never makes me feel like I want to eat a lot.
No, me either. And like I
anything,
was
I
always
want-
go ahead.
No, if anything, I want like a smoothie or some watermelon. Like that's what I think about fruit, like at the beach. I don't know. I mean, obviously sandwiches are my weakness, but
I love sandwiches too, but I was always so body conscious. Like I was so afraid, like I wouldn't eat before the beach or at the beach because I was like, my stomach might get a little bigger. I'm a little bit past that now.
I was
But
always
like,
afraid I would have to go to the bathroom, and I never want to go to the bathroom at the beach. So
I'll be also notice that.
That's a true fact.
no, I'm talking
we dig
about
holes and we dig holes.
Nobody wants to go. Yeah.
yeah, that's the
but-
worst. And I knew if I ate like shit, I would have a stomach ache. So that was also why I'd be like, oh, smoothies.
Yeah, like I want to look as good as I possibly can at the
fast.
beach. So putting a 6-pound deli sandwich in my stomach is not going to look great. So that's another thing. Bring a lot of water. Okay, drink a lot. You can go pee in the water. Not a big deal. Everyone does it. And something that Jamie
Ew.
brought up in her check-in today that I wanted to bring up, and this goes for like parties and stuff too. Make a fake drink. A lot of us just like the social aspect of holding a can. I know I do, right? Like I just want to be like with my hands full doing something. So bring like some seltzer with a little bit of crayon and a squeeze of lime, and you're not going to know any kind of difference. No one's getting whacked at the beach where they're like, can't walk home. You're just drinking for social. You're not even really getting like, there's really no point. Like most of the time when I ever drank at the beach, I'm like, and I'm just going to drive home. Like I had a couple of drinks. I had 200 calories worth of high noons. And then what? I'm going home. Like there was no point. So make a fake drink, make a mocktail. It makes you just feel like you have something in your hand and you're part of the fun. Again, booze to me without like a fun story at the end of the night make no sense to me. Which also might be whatever, but right, don't just crack a high noon because everyone else is cracking a high noon. Like, does it really taste that much different than if you had seltzer with a little bit of cranberry in it? It doesn't. Like, it's just the fact that it's a high noon makes you feel cool drinking on the beach. Like, get over that. Bring snacks that can be high volume if you want. Like, you can eat 4,000 cucumbers. Cut up 6 cucumbers and bring it. If you just like the act of munching, right? Like I like to chew, I like to eat. I would bring, 2 bags of carrots and 6 cucumbers cut up. That's gonna last me the whole time. It's probably a quarter of what a bag of chips would have been in calories, right? So bring volume food and get extra steps on that day or the day after. You need to move the day you do things, or if you go for a bender the day after. You have to drink a ton of water and you have to move. Getting whacked or going to a barbecue and then the next day just sitting is the worst decision you can make. I don't want you to slash calories the next day. That's not what I'm saying, but you can get extra steps in. All right. And then again,
Whacked.
final thoughts. Whacked. I know. It's so cool.
Whacked. Sorry.
My age.
Sticking out.
Right. It just can't be free. July and August count. You do need some structure and accountability, and that's why we're here. Don't ghost check-ins, don't ghost days. Show up for yourself. You guys are you've worked hard, most of you, for months now. Don't let July and August set you back where we can't continue in September. Right. And again, if you take the days off, you're not going to see the progress that you want. And just think about it, right? Look about it as in a test aspect. If you do good 4 days a week, that's a 57%. That's trash, right? Like, that's horrible. So if you're like, but I really did good Monday through Thursday, you got a 57 for the week. You're not seeing progress with 57% effort. If anything, you might see decline, right? If you do good 3 days out of the week, because, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but then Thursday's Thirsty Thursday, and Friday's Fun Friday, and Saturday's Sandbar Saturday, and Sundays, Sundays, like, you're
Bar
screwed.
Saturday.
You're done, right? So think about it in like a percentage, like on a test. We can't be scoring 57s each week and be like, why don't I look better? It's because you scored a 57 this week. So again, like, the summer can be fun. You have to remember where you are in your journey, why some people can have more fun than others, but it's a price you're gonna have to pay. Like, do you want to sacrifice maybe this summer a little bit so the rest of the summers of your life you're more confident and you can have more fun? Or do you want to do this damn thing over and over and over and over again, where you have all the fun July and August and work your tail off the rest of the year by crash dieting to just do it all again in a hamster wheel? There's ways to go about it. Again, we are here for you. The biggest thing is showing up and asking questions. Let us help you navigate things. Let us talk you off a ledge when you think you need to go to 6 happy hours during the week.
And being honest and like actually telling us like
Right.
what's going on. Like, I feel like, yeah, you have the perfect check-in, like, oh, everything's great, I'm doing this. And then it's like, but maybe you're unhappy with your results, or you're not seeing things, or like, I'm curious, like, well, why isn't anything changing? But maybe you're not being honest. Maybe the little things that you're doing aren't, you know, maybe they're really hurting you. Like that example of like just putting a little coffee creamer or whatever in your coffee, but not realizing that it's an extra X amount of calories that add up to whatever, which is really could be making a difference of what, you know, why you're not seeing progress. So just be honest, like, with us, with everything. I'm not going to sit here and be like, wow, you suck. Like, I do stupid shit sometimes too. Like,
I'm very honest when I go on my benders, right? I tell you guys right away. And that's why I know the scale's not necessarily going to go down, but I'm going to own it. Another thing is, right, like, we've been doing this long enough now that we also know, like, if you try and hide it and the pictures and the scale aren't moving and you're like, I just don't get why the scale's not moving. Like, you're lying to yourself, and we can tell. Like, yes, sometimes the body and the scale and pictures are weird. Like, you know, for my cut, for example, I was like 90% adherent and the scale didn't move like 1 pound. Sometimes things just don't work. But if you have 60 pounds to lose and you're technically following protocol, the scale is going to go down if you're being honest. So again, just be accountable for what you're doing, your choices. We have a lot of good examples of people that follow directions and it works, right? Like, I know Jess was our first like client spotlight, but like, she literally has been 99.9% adherent to everything, and look, fucking worked, right? Like, and there's a lot of you like that.
but I feel like when you start seeing it, then that's when you start to be like, all right, here we go. But it's not going to happen like this. And that's why it's so hard in the beginning. But hopefully when you see other people being adherent and doing it, then you'll be like, okay, I have to trust you really have to trust the process. That's the bottom line.
Right. And I kind of said this week too, like, you're not just going to be motivated. That doesn't happen. Motivation comes from action. Like, we have to start doing something, start seeing change, and then we become motivated. Like, you go to the gym, you start to see a quad muscle, that motivates you. You don't just wake up one morning and you're like, I just need motivation. Like, I actually hate the word motivation. People like use it to blame a lot of things on. Like, I'm just not motivated. Well, Like neither am I every day, but
You're the person
out.
that told me like motivation, no, determination. No, what'd you say to me?
it's
We were going to the gym one day and I was like, I just have no motivation. And what'd you say?
shut up. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, that.
Is
Guys, did you know Steph started out as my client?
I did, and I was like,
we weren't even friends, and now she's like, this is great.
She was the best. She was honestly the best thing for me because CJ is the person that never cancels. So when you have plans to go to the gym and you're like, maybe she'll be like,
Damn.
yeah, maybe she'll be like, okay, actually, I don't feel like going today. She's never once said that, and that's what got me going because I'm like,
Oof.
like, and if I didn't talk to her all day and we had plans to go at 3:30, like you bet your ass she's fucking at the gym at 3:20. Like, I'm here, I'm walking. I'm like, fuck, I'm still getting dressed. Like, what you told me 3:30. And then I'm like running around like a psycho.
Social plans I'll cancel, with the gym I won't.
Yeah, but it's like I feel like that's some like she's the reason why I was so like now I'm like, okay, because the entire summer we went to the gym. I think we literally went every day last summer.
Every single day at 3:30. Yeah.
Every single day.
Wow.
And it was because, well, towards the end, I think I was pretty good too. But it was in the beginning, it was because of you, because I was like, CJ will never cancel. And I feel like you need someone like that.
And there's a lot of people in this group that like have already like bonded with each other and worked. Like, try and see where people are and what gyms they go to and use each other for resources. Everyone in this group is awesome. Like, I know it's scary to meet new people. I hate meeting new people. But it helps.
CJ
like,
will
I know
not talk to anybody at the gym.
No, if I ever have a question, I have to tell Steph to go over to them because I'm too scared.
I'm like, seriously, CJ? First of all, I didn't know how to work a machine. And she's like, let's just do another one. I'm like, no, I'm going to try to figure out how to ask this guy how to do it. Meanwhile, that guy was weird. The fucking weird guy with the Duke sweatshirt.
Well, what about, okay, so this one time we saw this girl and she had like some banging joggers on. She had a great body. And we were like, well, those joggers are really nice. She's probably like a PE teacher or something. And so we're like, where are your joggers from? And she was like, oh, I don't know, Noble. They give discounts to like government workers. So we're like, oh, are you a teacher? And she's like, no, I work for the FBI. And we're like, oh,
no wonder.
She's like, I'm a federal agent. I was like, oh, you think
I was like a federal agent? Oh my God.
Think I could get a discount for being a phys ed teacher? They're the same level, right?
We pretty much do the same thing. And this is why I don't talk to people in the gym, because they're federal agents.
And then I see her, I was seeing her every time I went and her outfits were awesome. And I just felt like an idiot. I'm like, I'm just going to wave.
Not even going to ask what you're wearing anymore.
I'm not even asking.
She looked good. She rocked them. She had a good body. But all right, so I'm probably gonna have to run because my house is a mess. There's Tristis on the couch and Rustin's playing with Spider-Man costumes and Rory's still naked.
CJ, just leave it for Tom. I'm leaving it for Kevin.
He will just make it worse.
Mom,
Is he at bike school too?
Yeah.
Ugh, bike school. What is this?
I
The other
took
day, Rustin was like, "Dad, why aren't you a real cop anymore?" I was like, "Ooh, ouch, that hurts."
Yeah, they read.
Kids really know how to hit you.
Oh
man.
So funny. Why aren't you a real cop? I was like,
That's probably what my kid will say to me when they realize I teach phys ed and my husband doesn't teach classes.
why aren't
They'll
you
be like, what is that?
all right, so I'm gonna go, but I'll just turn my camera off and mute it. I don't know if you guys have any questions for Coach Steph. Steph, just like text me if like you guys decide to leave and I'll cancel and I'll turn off the Zoom.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So like for like planning like a beach trip, so like let's say you just cut up fruit or you buy like cut up fruit already.
Right.
Should you weigh the fruit? Like, cause like I weighed like my lunch, but like I brought fruit, but I didn't actually eat it because in my head I was like, I don't know how much I should eat, and it was watermelon, and I was like, I didn't calculate it.
I mean,
should I like be more lax or should we like calculate it?
If you have the time to actually do it beforehand and you're prepping and you're planning, then I would weigh everything and bring it, and that way you could pre-log it and then have it all set so you could just eat whatever and not even worry about it at the beach because it'll be like pre-logged. But watermelon, I mean, it's not like you're eating M&Ms. Like if you were to eat that watermelon, it's not going to throw you over the edge, you know what I'm saying? But to be like prepared and hit your macros and know what you're putting in, I would try to weigh it beforehand and I would pre-log it.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
That's what I feel like would be the best. Anybody else
I
have
feel like
any?
it's hard because when you have fruit and stuff like that, you take it to the beach. Sometimes you don't eat it all. Then you're like, am I gonna reweigh it? Like now that I didn't eat it, you know?
Yeah, like weigh the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think try to just do the best you can with that and then pre-log it. And then sometimes I've actually done that now that I'm home, because it's easier to do when you're home. You can like kind of just see what you took out of it. But I mean, I know it's not really that realistic to do. I would just, like I said, like CJ was saying before, just get, like, if you have to guesstimate on that, it's not the worst thing in the world for those days. Just make sure you're definitely logging, you know? That way we have something to look at. And just for you to see, so you can know what you're
Mhm.
putting in your body, what you have, what's going on. Because if you don't log it, like, then you have absolutely no idea. And sometimes you could go completely over. Even now that I'm getting better at logging, I feel like for doing it for so long, I still guess and I'm not that good at it.
This might sound like crazy and like environmentally not the best either, but I'm just thinking like if I'm trying to figure out how much watermelon I could pack, I might fill up the snack packs with like specific weights. And I'm like, all right, this is 100 grams of watermelon. And then bring like maybe 3 of them and like see how the macros weigh out. And I'm like, all right, I ate one, that's 100 grams. And then maybe go like that way where it's like, all right, I don't know how much I'm gonna eat, but I kind of have it pre-portioned so I can kind of do like, the mental math on the spot.
Yeah, that's a great idea too. Like, give yourself those portions, and then if you ate one bag, you ate 100 grams, and then you have 2 left, or if you ate one and a half, you kind of estimate what it is. Like, I think that's a great idea. That's definitely helpful. I mean, and also like you could just I understand what you're saying with the environment, but you could just throw the bags in your backpack and throw it out on the way out.
They have the
Yeah.
reusable ones.
Mm.
That's true. There's also a really cool backpack that I sent a few of my clients that that are students, and there's a cool backpack that has like all this a little area for. I could send it in the.
Oh, is that the Buff Bunny one?
What'd you say?
It's Buff. Is that the like Buff Bunny one? I saw that one time. I
Yeah,
think.
and I mean, I know it's like a little big, but I feel like I would definitely use that if I was still going for my master's in school, and because it has like a little compartment for all like containers, and they're like it's meal prep friendly. It has areas for everything.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's what's the next one.
I feel like if anybody, I'll put that in the chat if anybody's interested. It's just cool. Like, I don't know if you'll bring it to the beach. I mean, I would definitely look into doing that once I don't have 37 diaper bags, because I feel like that's just the main thing that I'm packing. But I feel like it's so worth it to like portion out your food, keep it in there, and it keeps it cool. And it has a perfect like ice pack to fit in there too. But anybody else have any questions or anything?
Hi, this is Lauren. I have a quick question. Oops.
Yeah.
I am doing my first check-in today. I took my first photos when I first started. So when I upload the photos today, am I doing the side by sides using the layout, or should I just upload today's photos?
This is your first check-in, first photos, you said, right?
First check-in, second set of photos, I guess, because I took like those starting photos when I first got in touch.
So usually we do every 2 weeks
Okay.
for photos. So you don't have to do, if you took them and you want to upload them, that's fine. But typically we tell everyone to do the photos every 2 weeks to do the layout
Okay.
side by side.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
no
long
problem.
overdue with my photos now that you brought that up. I need to
Actually,
take them.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I have a few clients that still refuse to upload their photos. So if that's you guys, make sure you're uploading them, just because it's like we say, the scale is something that obviously doesn't show everything. And you've seen like the pictures that, before and afters, and it's unbelievable. So it's like, it really makes that big of a difference. So definitely upload your photos, even if you're not happy with them in the beginning. I promise you, like, as you go through
They get better.
Yeah, and you're gonna be happy you did it, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
So if anybody else didn't upload theirs, do that soon. Anybody have any other questions?
I have one. So like I'm on a cut right now. And so I've been adjusting from like basically maintenance to cut.
Mm-hmm.
And my schedule's a little wonky. So like I work overnight.
Okay.
But so like it's hard to have a eating window. I don't know if I should just make like smaller portion things or just continue having the 3 meals because I feel like I'm starving all night long when I work overnights.
Do you have time
Um,
to eat when you're overnight? Like, do you have time
it's
to
like
eat?
never a scheduled break, but I can make time. Yeah. I work as a nurse.
I feel like if you're starving, then I would break it up into smaller portions so that way it gives you something to snack on or something to have during that time. So you don't want to be, you're going to obviously be a little hungry
Yeah.
from a maintenance to a cut, and that's, that's something
Normal.
it's just
Yeah.
normal. But if you feel like you're really starving, then I would definitely break it up a little bit and give yourself time to have something overnight, and then so you're not feeling that real starvation.
Yeah.
Sorry, she's
I
broken.
have to work it out again because like my main issue is that like I feel like I'm continuously eating for like 24 hours. So like instead of like having my whatever meals during the day and going to sleep, then I'm like up in the morning, I'm hungry, I want to eat something. Then I sleep all day and then I have to like squeeze in the rest of my stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Um,
Honestly, I think it's hard when you're trying to do a night schedule because it kind of throws your rhythms, everything is off a little bit. But
yeah,
if you could break it up a little and have something when you have a
maybe make
second,
them smaller.
yeah, I would
Okay.
make them smaller, and I would give yourself a little bit, I would give yourself something on that overnight because that's a long time to go without eating, and you don't want to feel like you don't want to feel starving to the point where it's like ridiculous. Obviously, you're going to be hungry, but
Yeah,
you should have, I would break it up into smaller, maybe just divide your macros if that's a little easier, break it up a little bit.
maybe. Yeah. Okay. I'll try that for the next week. Thank you.
No problem. Does anybody else, any questions? Is everyone else doing okay?
No, I like this one because I feel like the summertime, it's a little bit harder to navigate certain things. And like I am not definitely like my deli sandwiches. But I always would ask them to do like the kids version, so I would have less meat on it. But now I think I'll just make them at home. I don't go to the beach often anyway in the summertime because I like to just kind of stay home. But
Yeah, I think honestly, if you go and you just get a bunch of cold cuts and make it yourself, it's not even, and then also you have like those cold cuts in the you have them in the fridge for like quick protein. I am told you I'm number one with like sandwiches. It's like my number one thing. I'm actually not even crazy about the so many cold cuts because I feel like once in a while it's good to have them, but I just don't feel like they're actual like food. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm not crazy about like the preservatives and the nitrates and all the stuff that they put in the cold cuts. So once in a while I feel like it's fine, but that also keeps me from, you know, eating them all the time. Just because I feel like it's better to just have like some roasted, like the rotisserie chicken that you said you got for the beach. Like I just feel like that's a little bit better of an option health wise.
I was gonna say Costco has like this roasted turkey breast that's like actual whole breast and not like cold cut. And it's already like made and it's pretty good. I get it a lot now.
Maybe you could send a picture of that because those
yeah,
are things I like. Even like they
I'll
have
put
like
it in. I'll put it
actual,
in now.
yeah. I think it's so much better because it's actual roasted turkey or actual roasted chicken, and you feel better about eating it than just like the boar's head cold cuts, you know?
Yeah, I don't feel that gross after eating it. Like I put it in a wrap a lot and like put it in the air fryer and it's great with like a laughing cow.
Yeah.
And like it gives you a lot of protein and like you don't feel like you're having all those nitrates, whatever. But it's no preservatives. It's great.
You have to be careful too because of all the sodium in sandwiches.
Yeah. My boyfriend likes to
Right.
get big sandwiches from the local sub shop. And I looked it up. I don't know if you guys have it there on the East Coast, but it's Jersey Mike's. And
Yeah.
his sandwich, Italian, was like 2,000 grams of sodium in the sandwich.
Yeah,
It
and
was
you're supposed to have like
ridiculous.
2,300 like for the day.
Yeah.
Like that's what they recommend, but that's like for one meal. Imagine what you're having for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
You know,
like,
it's fun.
oh, sorry, go ahead. Penny.
No, it's okay. It was gonna say it's funny that like I do not like salt. I don't. I could have food with no salt on it and be perfectly okay with it. Like I do not like salt. I do not like salted potato chips. I like to get the no. If I have potato chips, the no salt or the lightly salted potato chips because I just don't like salt. And but I have a huge sweet tooth, so I can have a bag of potato chips sitting in front of me and not touch it. And yesterday I had one potato chip and onion dip, just one potato chip and onion dip. And it was like, okay, that's good. And I walked away and did not have another one.
You should have said that when CJ said, "Who's the people that can have the one chip and the?"
I was on I was on the treadmill at the gym, so I just couldn't unmute myself. I'll have to tell her that though.
Yeah, you have to tell her. That's so funny.
Yeah, but I can't. If you give me if there's an open Oreo cookie bag around though, I'll eat all of those. But
I know. Oreos are so good. That's why I never ever buy them because I'm never going to be able to just eat one of them.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad this helped everybody. I know summertime comes and it's like you just want to go out there and be crazy. But if you have any other questions, any other concerns, anything coming up, like specific events, like just let us know and we could walk you through it and help you.
Well,
I'm just glad I was actually able to make this.
The first 3 weeks of my cut were disastrous. So I now am. I'm going to say it out to everybody. I'm committing to not have anything to drink for the next 3 weeks. Is what I'm committing. So
That was me last week. I was on a cut, but I ended up inadvertently away for a week. And like, I was like, okay, well, these high noons are eating every ounce of fat and carb I have left. I'm like, this is pointless.
I know. It's just like I don't know what happened. I know what happened, but you know, it's like
right. Everyone knows. Yeah.
I was just like, I can't. Like, cause I'm not like I'm doing so good during the week, and then Saturday rolled around, and it was like, so I've committed to my. So next time we have this in a month, I will let you know how it goes. So
Well, if you need support, just let us know. But I think you could do it. You'll be okay.
I think so too. I have the why. So in this one, like I know she says CJ says she doesn't like the word motivation, and I don't like it either. But I have a why. So, which isn't really like motivation. There's a reason why I'm doing it. So,
Oh, and that's exactly it. Like it's not even just motivation. It's like your reason why. It's your why, and nobody's gonna tell you otherwise because this is what you're planning on doing, and that's the perfect. That's more than motivation.
Yeah.
3 weeks will fly. CJ and I spoke about like putting me on a cut. I think like in August, like towards the end of August, and I'm like, it's already June. So let's say in 8 weeks. So I told her the other day, I'm like, 8 weeks is gonna go like this. And like I know CJ has kids, Stephanie, you have kids. Like I have a son, like he's gonna be 1 next week. Like
Oh my God, it goes so fast.
It does.
like you just think like especially in terms of like having a baby, you count their age by weeks and then all of a sudden it turns into months. So like that kind of just like I thought about that this week and I don't know, like I had like a mind shift and I'm like, okay, like I got to get ready to grind. So like 3 weeks, it's really going to fly for you, Penny.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it really will because like I committed this on Sunday and the week is almost already over. Yep. So, and you know, I don't have that calendar anymore. I feel like I don't have the school calendar anymore where it always went from September to June. It went from like September to this school vacation to this school vacation to this school vacation time. And but my work is almost forces the week to go by so much faster, where like I committed this, like I said, on Sunday, and now it's Thursday. So the big first test is going to come up on Saturday when I'm going to a retirement party. But I really think that I could do it, and the people at the retirement party are very, very supportive of this. And actually, Amanda Kelly, who is on with CJ too, it's for her dad. So it's like I know that I'm going to be somewhere where I'm going to be with people that are going to support me and not like try to force feed me drinks. So unless I tell them I want that, but they won't ask. They'll ask if I decline. They won't push. So, which is nice.
Yeah, no,
But thank you.
That is great. And I feel like, again, like what CJ said, if you just strictly say like, no, I'm not drinking, this is what I'm like, I'm not drinking, nobody's gonna push you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And let us know if you need motivate, like just like, I feel like text the group chat, because if you ever feel like you need that little extra like motivation from everyone else, or that, you know, I feel like that whole group chat is amazing when people put things in there. So
Yeah.
you
We'll
always
slap
have
the
us.
drinks out of each other's hands.
Hey,
I'm on
Amanda's here. Hi.
I'll slap the drink out of your hand if I see it. All right.
All right, that sounds good.
You do the same for me.
That's so funny. All right, good. You have each other.
That's right.
Yeah.
So she's either forcing shots down my throat or taking them away.
We'll take them away.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that
right.
this was helpful for you guys. And if you need
Yeah.
anything else, just let us know.
Absolutely. Thanks, Steph.
Okay.
Yeah,
Of course.
thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.